We've got 10 minutes. I've been under strict guidelines for that, so that's half a Metro moment. More about that as we go on. So in these next 10 minutes, I'll try to tell you a little bit about where we came from, how we've achieved some successes, and where we're going to. Like all good ideas, we nicked the idea actually, and we nicked it from the country that gave you ABBA, Volvo, Saab, and actually for James over there, Thomas Brolin. A lot of you won't know who he is at all, but a Swedish player, and the sauna as well, obviously from Sweden. We did nick the idea from Sweden. It was launched by a company called Metro International, that's not ourselves, in Stockholm in Sweden in 1995. But like all good things, you can actually nick them and do a better job. Our chairman and chief exec at that stage at Associated Newspapers had a look at what was happening over there, liked the idea, thought it was a good proposition, and we did think we could improve on it and make a better editorial product. So we launched in 1999 with 80,000 copies, and we're now up to just one or two more than that. It was based, the whole idea is based on this kind of downtime, commuters' downtime, people having to travel on the tube, train, bus, whatever, when they've got nothing else to do but stare out the windows or stare at each other. So we felt, or it was felt at the time, that we can get something that will actually entertain them on their journey. So that's where Metro, the concept of Metro came out. It was a 20-minute read, designed to be easy to read, no spin in it at all, no preaching, and a very, very simple kind of clear typeface. Now that sounds fantastic. I have to tell you, we did redesign after 12 months. So first lesson on this is, if you don't get it right to start with, change it and make sure you do get it right. So and we had to redesign after 12 months to make it more acceptable for the national rollout. Right, what was the audience that we're after? What we noticed over in, or what was noticed over in Stockholm, that it was being read by a very young audience, and that audience, when it came into London, was young and upmarket as well, and it was being read by advertising agency people as well, who obviously read the paper and had their disposable hands something like £1 billion worth of revenue. So these people have got enormous sums of money to be able to spend with us. And they knew, as we did, that it's very difficult to reach this particular audience. 18 to 34s, some people call them 18 to 45s. We like to think of this kind of our target market as a real 18 to 34 ABC1 market, because they watch very little TV, they don't listen to too much radio as well, and probably most of you in this room here. So that you're very difficult to reach, and because of that, advertisers love to get hold of you. So what we did is we termed this audience urbanites, and if you like, that's stuck with us ever since. Second thing we kind of picked up from it all was this, what we call limited availability. To start with, we put out 80,000 copies. They went very quick. Then we put out 160,000 copies. They went very quick. So we kept adding to that. But what we didn't do is oversupply the market, because we wanted this you've got to be quick to get one technique, so that you actually desired to get hold of one. So if they are put down on the tube, you would pick it up as well. And I like to say this, like if you're going for a Porsche 911, you can't get one there and then. Now I can't really draw the same analogy with Metro, but it's the same idea behind it all. And the same was on advertising as well. We advised people that they needed to book quite early, and in the early days you could get whatever pages you wanted. But as we kind of built up the strength of what we're about, we said you need to book early. You've got to book about a few days, 3 or 4 days in advance. And the newspaper market is notoriously kind of quick thinking. Yeah, we've got a page to sell tomorrow. Do you want it, etc. And what we decided to say is, well, no, we're not going to book it. We're not going to let people in the next day. They're going to have to book in advance. So in other words, you created some kind of, if you like, a mystique about it. And because of that, you've got quite a desire. And we did turn ads down in those in early on to say, no, we can't get you in. Sorry, the paper's full, because we restricted ourselves to 40 pages as well. So if you like, you got this desire being built up and a limited availability, and so and that helped us to build for the years ahead. And we use this kind of phrase, what you turn away actually makes you. And if you're brave enough, sometimes people will respect you for that. And some of the agencies who would like to bully us around, if you like, a little bit with our rate card, we turned away. And that's why you won't see a lot of the Dixons or the supermarkets of this world in it, because we don't want to see ourselves as a commodity. It's a cheap rate commodity. So from being a free, which is associated often with cheap, we all of a sudden made ourselves quite exclusive and said, no, we're not cheap, and we will not take cheap advertising in the product. The 4 principles that we've got for Metro are the follow: right place, right time, right product, right audience. We've got to get all 4 of those right to get ourselves right. We've got to be in the right place in the morning. If we're not there, so it's easy for you to pick up out of a bin or on a bus or on a train, you won't pick it up. We don't think you're going to travel half a mile out of your way to go and pick up a Metro. I'd like to think that, but I don't think that will happen. We need to be there at the right time, and that's 6:30 in the morning till around 9:30. And we think that's when you're most receptive to advertising or getting a message across to you. We also need to make the product very, very easy to read. No spin. We don't preach. We don't tell the audience vote Labour, vote Conservative, vote Liberal or whatever. We just present the facts to you. And the audience, this is what the agencies love. It's upmarket and young, low TV watchers, cash rich and very time poor. And they want to be the first to get all the new brands. Other little messages that we've found quite useful is to differentiate, keep tips for your products really. It's ensure that it is different at all times. All you do, our marketing is very different than most newspapers. We take a very fresh approach to that. We give a little story. Our vans have got a story on what the driver's about. Our business cards have a little story on us. So we create a difference with it all. Need to keep it simple. Our agency deals that we do the deals once a year, so we're not constantly battling to change rate cards or sell things off. We have a once a year sit down with the agencies. That's a deal, that's it, so that we don't have to involve ourselves with that on a regular basis. We need to create a lot of value with a product, and by doing that we put a lot of money into research and into marketing, and we have a full urban life panel. 4,000 people regularly talk to us through email to tell us where we're going wrong, and also tell us about some of the kind of products that we have advertised with us and what they think about those products. Restlessness. Well, you probably can tell with me I'm quite restless. We always want to improve. We never settled for what we've got. So whenever we do something, we always think, how can we do it better next time around? And keep a sense of humour, because it doesn't half work in our game. So we've taken it from 80,000 in 1999 in London to just short of 1.2 million now in 2006. We form partnerships in the regions because that helps speed up our rollout. The partners keep their local ads. The national product stays as it is for the rest of it. Our whole mantra at the business is urbanites. We just concentrate solely. The vision is on this 18 to 34 market, ABC1. There are 5 million urbanites in the UK. We're reaching only 1 million of them at the moment, so we've got 4 million to go. We know we can develop that through the internet, and we're putting a big play into that to actually attract more of those readers, and we're growing copies as well at the same time. And we've also launched London Light, which many of you may have seen on the way in today, and that's 400,000 copies of that going out, which will also give us more readers. But it's essential. One of the points I wanted to get across is try to stick to your core product and stick to the kind of audience that you want. And lastly but not least, but the most important people on the whole setup are the people you employ. It does really start and ends with people. We've got investors in people, top 50 companies in Sunday Times, etc. We have what I would like to say are good employment practices. We have a very open management team. We share the pain, but we also share the success, and we have some fun as well.